Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hypatia and Galileo Engineering Live and Learning Community webinar for today. My name is Dr. Deanna Kate. I am the Director for Undergraduate Student Programs for the Center for the Enhancement of Engineering Diversity, and I also have the pleasure of serving as the Director for Galileo and Hypatia. And for Hypatia and Galileo, we currently sit within the CEED office. We are under CEED, and the CEED office has been in existence for almost 30 years. Next year, we'll be celebrating 30 years. And then for Hypatia, we've been in existence since 2001, and for Galileo since 2016. And these two communities were structured and designed to make sure that students successfully transitioned from high school to college, and then also from college to a career once they graduate. And we, throughout their first year, and actually throughout their sophomore year, and throughout their college time at working with Galileo and Hypatia, we make sure that we build in events and activities and things that would help all students feel like they are home away from home. So this is their way of being able to make the large institution that is Virginia Tech feel as if it's comfortable for them, and they have a place to go that they feel home with. And some of the things that we also do is we help for students to be able to build up professional development throughout their time with CEED and with Hypatia and Galileo. So with the Live and Learning communities, all students live within one residence hall. So if you are accepted into Galileo or Hypatia, depending on which community you choose, and I didn't say this, but Hypatia is for women and Galileo is for men. So if you are within the college of if you're with Hypatia or Galileo, then everyone stays in Hogue Hall. And within that building, it's only engineering students, except for some of the RAs. But I think that pretty much most of those students that are RAs in Hogue Hall are also College of Engineering students as well. And for the first year of you being in Hypatia and Galileo, you have to participate for that full year, living within Hogue Hall. And then after your first year, if you would like to stay on as a committee member, you actually, or within the community, you have the option to, or you would have to live on campus, but you would also get leadership opportunities as well during your sophomore year. So this is not just a one-year program, it's actually multiple years if you would like to sign up for it. Some of the good information about Hypatia and Galileo is that we have a very high retention rate with our students. As you can see with Hypatia from the 2019-2020 year, we had a retention rate of 99%, and for Galileo, we had a 98% retention rate. And what that means is that the students who participate within Galileo and Hypatia stay at the university after their first year going into their second year. And the communities for next year, these are the numbers for them. For Galileo, there are around 350 first-year students that are coming back to that will be coming into the community for the first time. And then our upper class leaders, who are the sophomore students, we have around 53 students coming back. And you will stay on the half of the third and fourth floors, and then also all of the fifth through the seventh floors. And then for Hypatia students, first year students, we're looking to have around 300 students and 61 upper class leaders. And those ladies stay on the ground floor, first and second floor, all of those floors, and then also the full floor, and then half of the third and fourth floor. And some of the goals of the community are to just pretty much make sure that first year students are connected with upper class students who are in the College of Engineering, and just to make sure that you all are successful while you're here. We help students with assignments and projects, and also to just adjust to the college life. And throughout your time here with Galileo and Hypatia, you develop academic skills, professional development, and then also personal growth. And so this is really an opportunity for you to get away from home and be able to learn who you are as a college student, and then also learn who you are personally, and then grow with that. So the application process for the community and some of the requirements, I know that most of you are excited to see what the application process looks like. For anyone who is interested in becoming a part of our community, you have to be an engineering student. you have to either apply via STARS if you have already accepted your admission to the university, or you are allowed to apply via a different system if you have not accepted your offer at this time. The application process is currently open for all students. And so one thing that I will say is, if you are interested in the community and you know that you haven't accepted your admission right now, you still have that option to apply right now. Don't wait until the last minute, because if you wait until May 1st or after May 1st, there may not be any places for a spot for you in the community. We typically fill up within the community around May, the mid-May. So if you're interested, go ahead and complete the application, and we will have someone look into the applications for you. The way that our application process works for Galileo and Hypatia is a little different than the other live and learning communities. Each Monday, I go into the system and I pull out all of the applications that have come in, and then our applications go out to a team of our reviewers who they look over the application for that week, and then the following week you'll get a response. So if you apply after Monday at 8 a.m., it's not guaranteed that your application is going to be reviewed. So make sure that you get in your application before Monday at 8 a.m. If it's after that on a Monday, you're not going to be reviewed until the following week. So I won't be able to pull your application to review it until that following week, and then you won't get a response until the week after that. So if you're interested in working with us or getting into the community, make sure you do that ASAP. And I also will say, make sure that you answer the questions within the application. We have one essay question that has two questions that you have to answer. Make sure that you actually answer those two questions. You can be as, I know some people try to have an essay that is unique, that stands out, and you can be as unique and stand out as much as you want to, as long as you answer those questions as well. And the application essays, you have to write at least 300 words, but no more than 500 words. So as long as you stay within those guidelines, you have a greater chance of getting accepted into the community. Within the community, after you are accepted into either Galileo or Hypatia, you have to register for one credit course. So Hypatia students, they have a certain amount of sections that they can register for. And then Galileo students also have Galileo first year seminar courses that are taught by our graduate students and some of our CEED staff. And then also with the community, you are offered, or you are giving a Galapagos mentor that you will meet with for the first 10 weeks of the semester. And that Galapagos mentor is actually an upper class leader who was a part of the community in the fall semester. So those are some of the application requirements and the community standards for the fall semester. And one good thing about living in Galileo and Hypatia is that you have access to something that a lot of the other students who are engineering students don't have, and that is the Invent Studio 1 and 2. The studios are located on the second floor of Hogue Hall, and one studio has all of the design space, the things that you would need, machines that you would need, a 3D printer. I think we got 2 new CNC machines that are there, and then all of the other tools and everything that you would want to, pretty much everything that you would want as a engineering student within the College of Engineering. And then also we have the Studio 2, which is there for a study space, and it can actually also be used as a collaboration space as well. So if you want to go into the room to study, or if you want to have a group work session or something like that, you can use that studio. Next year, you will be able to do that. For this year, it's not open to students because of different changes that we had to make for this year. And then also the studio is managed by 3 graduate students and a team of upper class leaders. And another thing about the studios is that we have corporate sponsors, and then faculty members who come in and they host events throughout the year as well. And after your first year, like I said before, you do have the option to come back and be a part of our community as well. as an upper class leader. And this is for second year students who are selected by your peers to live in the community for the second year of Galileo and Hypatia. And this is not a requirement, but it is something that we encourage students to stay on campus to do, because it gives you an opportunity to actually be in that leadership role. So it kicks off your leadership skills pretty early in your career in college. One of the requirements for being an upper class leader is for you to take part in the 1-credit leadership course. And that course consists of you being a part of that community. The different committees that we have are the academic support team, the communications, data management, design challenge, outreach, professional development, the studio training, stable mind initiative, social committee, and then also the service learning committees. And these students, when you're a part of this community, they are actually the students who are putting on the events and activities that are required for you during your the first year seminar course. So all of the events and activities that are set up for you are actually planned out by your fellow Galileo and Hypatia committee members. And during your second year, you can also apply to be a mentor. And one thing about this is that all mentors have to be an upper class leader, but all upper class leaders do not have to be a mentor. So if you're interested in being a mentor, you can go ahead and apply along with being an upper class leader, but you don't have to. So if you just want to participate in one of the committees, you're good to do that as well. But all mentors have to be upper class leaders. And for any student who is interested in being a committee member, you have to live on campus for your second year. And after your second year, if you still would like to be a part of the committee or the community, you have the option to graduate to the Galapagos leadership team. And those students are a team of upper class leaders or upper class students who were part of Galileo and Hypatia during their first year. They participated as an upper class leader and a mentor their second year, or a mentor their second year, and then they wanted a bigger leadership role. So they applied and were interviewed and were selected to become the leadership team. And these leaders are the ones who actually they run, or they are the leads of the different communities that are listed above. So if you're interested, this information will come out to you, I would say, around October of the fall semester, so fall 2021. When you come in, just keep a lookout for that. And if you don't hear anything about that, then you can always reach out to me, and I can get you that information as well. So here we have the makerspace. This is what it will look like in a typical year. It may change a little bit if restrictions are still in place for the coronavirus, but in a typical year, this is what it looks like. So you can see we have the different machines and things like that available for you. And then here are a couple of pictures of some of our students participating in, it looks like, one of the Slush Rush events, and then also one of the corporate sponsors who came in and did an event with our students. So there's that. And then also we do have some design committees or teams that are there, or that you can be a part of. So the rocketry team, and then also the NASA Micro G Next teams, you can look into being a part of those as well. And then finally, I want to show you a video of what it's going to look like in Hogue Hall.
Hogue Hall, formerly known as Lee Hall, is an 8th floor co-ed residence hall located on Washington Street Southwest. It is home to over 800 students in Galileo and Hypatia engineering learning communities. Right in front of the building, on the campus-facing side, there are recreational facilities for students to use at any time. Hogue Hall is a close walk to Castle Coliseum, Schiffer Health Center, Lane Stadium, and most dining halls on the campus side. There are 4 main entrances to this building. 2 can be found facing Washington Street, and another 2 towards campus.
To enter the building, a valid Hokie passport is required to swipe to open the door. Amenities such as laundry rooms can be found on the ground and first floor. To do laundry, the Hokie passport is swiped to pay for the machine used, or coins can be inserted into a specific machine for operation. Vending machines can be found on both sides of the first floor and are available to use 24/7. And water refill stations are available on all floors and sides.
All entrances, elevators, and other various locations throughout the building have hand sanitizer dispensers and reminders to practice safe social distancing. Walking through Hogue Hall, students can find many locations inside the study, such as private study lounges on each floor. Here, students can work on homework assignments or study together at any time while following safety procedures such as wearing masks and social distancing.
Our hall features Studios 1 and 2, or Invent Studios, which are exclusive to the Galapagos community. Here, students can learn to use laser cutters, 3D printers, and many other tools. They are also able to create their own projects with the tools provided. Another feature of Hogue Hall is a newly renovated study and activity space known as the second floor lounge. It is complete with a kitchen, private study room, ping pong table, multiple TVs, a single unisex bathroom, and plenty of seating to study and relax.
Student rooms are accessed through scanning the Hokie passport at the door and entering a personal PIN code. Each room is furnished with 2 beds, 2 desks, 2 chairs, 2 closets, and 2 dressers. There is also a sink and mirror with a medicine cabinet. There is plenty of room for personal customization and decoration of the room and its layout.
That's all for today, Hokies, and hopefully we'll see you on campus. Let's go, Hokies!
Shout out to our communications committee. They actually put this video together. So some of our students actually did this video. I will give the current upper class leaders and GLT members an opportunity to introduce yourselves. So we can start off with Megan Perkins.
So I'm Megan Perkins, of course, and I am a junior in mechanical. I started off in Hypatia as a freshman, and then I was a mentor, and now I'm a mentor liaison. And I really liked being a part of Galapagos because it kind of creates a really strong community, and you're able to meet so many people from like a diverse set of backgrounds, but you're all connected through engineering, so you can really make a lot of great relationships.
Thank you, Megan. And then we'll go to Lauren.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name's Lauren. I'm a senior, and I'm double majoring in electrical engineering and Spanish. I've been a part of Galapagos since I was a freshman here. I was on the social committee my sophomore year, and I've been a social liaison for the past 2 years. So I've been in charge of that committee. And one of my favorite things about the Galapagos community is that you're just able to make a lot of friends with people who have similar interests to you and are in similar classes with you. So it's really nice to be able to walk into the hall and be like, hey, is everyone else studying for that calc exam that we have this week too? Can somebody help me understand this concept? And so that's really valuable for your academic experience. And then also just the friendships you make. It's just a really tight-knit community, and it makes Virginia Tech feel a lot smaller and like home.
Thank you, Lauren. Next, I have Emily.
Hi, guys. I'm Emily. I am a computer engineering major and a disability studies minor. I am also a senior. I've been involved in Galapagos since my freshman year. My sophomore year, I was on the studio training committee, where I did laser cutter training in the studio. And then I was also a mentor. My junior and senior year, I am a studio committee training liaison. So yeah, basically I spend a lot of time in the studio. And so obviously my favorite reason for Galapagos is the studio. It's an awesome makerspace. There's always new tools in there. I still haven't figured out how to use all of them. There's laser cutter, 3D printers, CNC machines, power tools. I don't even know how to use all the power tools in there. And I've been here for 4 years. So yeah, lots of good stuff in there. You can make lots of Christmas gifts and gifts for your family and friends free of charge, which is a great perk.
Thank you, Emily. And what she didn't mention is that Emily is coming back to us as a graduate student. So she will be serving as one of the graduate students in the infant studio in the fall semester. So she loves us and we love her too. And then next I have Nolan.
Hi guys, I'm Nolan Anderson. I am a junior in civil engineering, and I am one of the professional development committee liaisons, meaning I oversee the professional development committee, and we do a lot of networking events, career fairs, and interview prep. And I know Deanna briefly mentioned Slush Rush because I think there might have been a picture in there. And that is a networking activity where we connect freshmen with faculty members and corporate partners as well, which is a really awesome opportunity. I joined Galapagos because I was pretty new to the East Coast when I applied to Virginia Tech. So I didn't know anyone coming to VT. And Galapagos was just a really cool way to instantly get that sense of community. And also, as Lauren said, that the academic transition can be pretty scary. So it's really awesome to be able to open your door and say, hey, is anyone else studying for this test? And getting that academic help, because I was definitely afraid of that transition from high school to college.
Thank you, Nolan. Ronnie?
Hey everyone, my name is Ronnie. I'm a junior and I'm in biological systems engineering with a green engineering minor. I joined Hypatia my freshman year, and then my sophomore year I was on the service learning committee, and I was also a mentor for the community. And then this year I was the one of the two service learning committee liaisons. And so I basically work to organize events that the freshmen in the community are taking part in, service events, not just on campus, but also in the surrounding New River Valley area. And just to reiterate a lot of what everybody else has said, I just joined Galapagos my freshman year. I was looking for friends that had similar interests. And similarly, I was scared for my first college class, and there is nothing like being able to knock on your neighbor's door and ask for help on a calculus problem. So it's definitely something that comes in handy, and I would not change a single thing.
Thank you, Ronnie. Next, Leo.
Hey guys, I'm Leo. I'm a sophomore in mechanical engineering right now, and in the fall I was a mentor, and currently I'm a part of the service learning committee, and I'm a mentor liaison. So I guess just to add on to what everyone has said, I joined Galapagos because I wanted to be, I guess, a part of like a community that I guess supported me and helped me out, because the transition from high school to college was pretty scary. I think a lot of people really struggle, and I certainly did. So it was really convenient and helpful to have people that were in my same class that I still talk to my sophomore year, and then I will junior, senior year, that are in my same major and that I became friends with. So that's really sweet.
Thank you, Leo. Gwyneth?
Hi, everyone. I'm Gwyneth Steele. So I am a sophomore in computer engineering. And so this year I was a mentor and also a member of the service learning committee. But for the next year, I'm going to be one of the committee liaisons for the outreach committee. And the outreach committee does a lot of events where we help with students who are in K through 12. So we reach out to them and talk to them about college and VT and Galapagos and things. And when I joined Galapagos, I met a lot of my really good friends through the program, but I also met a lot of really great role models. So I think my mentor she helped me so much during my first semester, and also the instructor for the Hypatia course that I was in. I went into her office hours all the time, and she would just help me figure out my life plan and stuff. So having those resources there was really helpful.
Thank you, Gwyneth. Next, Caitlin.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm a junior in aerospace engineering, and like everyone, I joined my freshman year. And then the following year, I was on the communications committee and was a mentor. And now I'm the communications committee liaison. And so the communications committee is in charge of the social media, website, making videos about Hoke Hall and Galapagos and all that. And then also doing a weekly newsletter, which if you join, you will be able to read them on the bathroom stalls in Hoke Hall. So that would be something to look forward to. Now I plan to return as communications committee liaison next year. And then the reason I joined Galapagos is kind of the same as everyone else. I wanted to make friends that had similar interests and had similar work ethic, I guess, because I did not really desire to be having a lot of homework, and other people were not having a lot of homework, and then I would want to not do homework if they were not doing homework. So the work ethic aspect is good, and also just the Hypatia class, I think, is also very helpful, given that you learn a lot of professional development skills, and you don't, or at least I did not really have to do any sort of professional development things in high school. So that was a good thing to help me ease into that.
Thank you, Caitlin. Selma?
Hi, everyone. My name is Selma. I'm a junior in material science and engineering with a minor in chemistry. I have been here since my freshman year. I was both a mentor and a committee member for service learning. And this upcoming year, I'm going to be one of the 2 service learning committee liaisons. And I guess the one thing that I'm very grateful to have been a part of Galapagos and to continue on being a part of Galapagos, because the resources that I've been able to have access to in this community, it's like, say, for one example, I didn't even know what major within engineering I wanted to be a part of. And it was because of the people that I met in Galapagos, whether it be my mentor and other upper class leaders and the professors that we were able to meet through like Slush Rush. I was able to navigate what I wanted to do career-wise and thus realize what major I wanted to be in engineering. So yeah.
Thank you, Selma. Jessica?
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm a junior in mechanical engineering. And of course, I joined my freshman year. My first semester was really rough, and anything that could have gone wrong definitely went wrong. It was just a struggle. And I found like my mentor to be so helpful, and my entire hall was so supportive the entire time. It was great. So then I stayed on for my sophomore year, and I stayed on as a mentor and a studio training committee member. So I found out that I really loved the studio and found a love for like the tools in there and getting to teach people and helping people out. So I stayed on as a mentor liaison, and I will be coming back as a mentor liaison next year as well. And I've just met a lot of people that I've just stuck around. They've hung around me. I keep in touch with people, and like even like here or there, I will send a random message to someone and they will always send a message back being like, hey, I know we haven't talked in a while, but it's great to hear from you, and we'll have a whole conversation. So it's built relationships that have just lasted me for a long while, and I gotta say it was nice.
Thank you, Jessica. Megan?
Hi, so I'm a sophomore in civil and environmental. I'm doing a minor in green engineering and a minor in international studies. I joined freshman year as a mentee, and then this year as a mentor and a committee member for ProDev. And then next semester I will be in ML. So hopefully to see you all there. I joined mainly because I wanted like the same type of work ethic where everybody was working in the same things. In first semester, I didn't really take advantage of that, but like we all left our doors open freshman year. So at some point we all just started harassing each other, and like Selma would pop her head in our door just random times or come and sit on our floor just randomly. And from there, like that got the ball rolling. So then we just had like floor hangouts all the time. So it was a great time. We'd sit and work, and I really appreciate that. And we still have that with our friends that are off campus since they've moved off. So love that type of energy and actually being able to work with people.
Thank you, Megan. Michael?
Hi, everybody. So my name is Michael Cook. I'm currently a junior majoring in chip scale integration, which falls under the ECE, CPE umbrella. There are like 14 different majors. It's crazy. So like everybody else, I joined as a freshman. I came back and was a committee member for studio training, mostly doing training on the soldering equipment. And I came back again as a studio training committee liaison, also sort of leading the branch that does training on soldering. I definitely have to say that I mainly applied to Galileo because of the opportunities that could be presented by the studio. Having like, you know, instead of having to walk across the drill field to get to a soldering bench that may or may not be in decent repair in the Frith lab, you know, you take an elevator down. I lived on like the 5th floor, so like 3 to like 5 floors down to the 2nd floor to go to the studio and just be able to work on projects there. It's really nice. And one thing that you'll get a lot of at Tech is you get a lot of sort of practical instruction on how to build the stuff that you're designing. And being able to do that, especially with a major like electrical and computer engineering, is really, really nice.
Okay, so I know there are a couple of questions. One thing I wanted to mention for the Hypatia and Galileo application process, once you apply, if you decide to apply before you're accepted or before you accept your admission to the university, what you want to make sure that you do is wait until you hear back from us. And then in that, I'll send you an email if you are accepted to the community with details on how you are to proceed as far as making completing your application through StarRes. So once you're accepted, if you are sent an offer through the other application process outside of StarRes and you're offered a place in the community, that email will give you step-by-step instructions on how to go to StarRes and then apply. And then once you do that, then there's another process for me to go through and do. So next, Joey asked, let's see, if a student is accepted, do they receive first choice to pick classes? For students, once you're accepted, and what's going to happen is for this year, this is actually going to be the last year of us doing this, I think. What happens is I go in and I create schedules for all of the students, and I place all 650 or however many students are in Galileo and Hypatia. I place you all in classes. And this information is actually also shared once you accept your offer to the community. But pretty much what I'm telling you now, if you're accepted into the community, if you know that most of you all, if not all of you, will get the chem lab, do not, I repeat, do not withdraw from that chem lab class or drop that chem lab class, because you have to take that chem lab here. And then also it's already full. So if you click off of that chem lab, or if you drop that chem lab and you try to get another one, it might not be guaranteed that you get another section of it. And then also for those students who are accepted into the community, the Galileo and Hypatia class that you have to take, you're automatically added to a specific section, and you are not allowed to switch your section of that class. So once you're put into that section, you have to stay in that section unless there's something, an extenuating circumstance that makes it so that you have to take it at another time. But then too, you're not even allowed to drop the class. It won't. If you try to drop it, it'll tell you no. So you'll be in, for most students, we batch you in or we add you into a chem lab, the Galileo or Hypatia first year seminar class, and then also the math class, and then the foundations of engineering class. So just and I know that there are some students who do not have to take chem, but we put everyone in, and then for whatever reason, if you don't have to take that chem class, then you can drop that class. But what you want to do is make sure that you actually speak to your advisor before you make any type of changes onto your schedule. And you will be able to meet with your advisor, and orientation information is coming out soon. I know that orientations are going to be between, if I'm not mistaken, June 12th to sometime at the end of July, and you have time to be able to schedule those. So you should be receiving information pretty soon about when your orientation can be scheduled. So Emily, if you want to go ahead and answer Joey's question about them taking a class at the community college.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, I think the answer is yes, because I got credit from a community college too, but that's more of an advising question to make sure you get there's like a document that says like what you can get credit for. You want to make sure you look at that so you don't.
Yeah, there's like a website.
There's a transfer guide for it.
Yeah, so you like type in the class. So if like you want to take a class at like a Virginia community college, there's like a website. So you like type in like the class that you want to transfer over, and it like shows you like the equivalent. So like I think chemistry is like Chem 1035, and then you just type that in. It tells you like which class you'd have to take at the community college for you to get credit for that class.
But what you want to do is make sure that you talk to your advisor first, just to make sure, because at some universities or some community colleges, it may be different than what the requirements are for at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I was an out-of-state student, so the requirements are a little less clear. So definitely talk to an advisor for that.
Nolan, did you want to go ahead and answer the question about what Slush Rush is?
It is a networking opportunity for freshmen to meet with corporate partners and faculty members to talk about research or it's not a place to really talk about an interview or trying to like work with a company, but it's just really a place to practice networking skills, because that's a really important skill to learn as we're going to career fairs and interviews. But the slush in Slush Rush comes from when it was in person. We would serve slush rush we would serve slushies at those events. So that's where the Slush Rush comes from. It doesn't make so much sense now that it's all on Zoom, but.
And next year, like I said, we are planning for everything to be in person. So we're looking to hopefully bring back the slush rushes to be in person with the being able to have the slushes. But it depends on what the policy is with food for next year. So I'm hoping that we can have them in person with the slushes. I'm looking forward to that because I like slushies. So if you get rejected by the community, can you apply again? Unfortunately, Ibrahim, you cannot reapply once you are rejected. So there's only a one-time thing for you to be able to apply to the community. So if you are not 100% sure that you want to commit to Virginia Tech, then what you would do is apply through the before you accept your admission. And if you are accepted, or if you are given an offer, then you have until May 1st to make a decision. And after May 1st, if you don't apply, or actually for this year, after May 3rd, you have to apply via the StarRes application process. So if you do not apply by 8 a.m. on May 3rd, if you are given that space in Galileo or Hypatia, then that space is no longer valid. Then your offer is no longer valid. Dominic asked what the acceptance rate is. I want to say in a typical year, we have maybe around 500 or 600 applications for Galileo, maybe around 300 or 400 applications for Hypatia. And I would say for this year, I would say a 50% chance, depending. I honestly can't give exact numbers because I don't know. But it really depends. Like I said before, if you really take the time to answer the questions that are asked within the essay, then you have a greater chance of getting accepted. Where a lot of people honestly go wrong is that they, like I said before, they give this great example of who they are, but they don't really answer why they want to be a part of the community. We want students to be able to come in. We want students to come into the community knowing what they're going to get themselves into, because there are some requirements outside of just attending the class that you have to take part in. So one big thing that we do is we connect the class to the community. So what some of the class requirements are that you have to attend social events within Hogue Hall. You have to do service learning or outreach opportunities throughout the year. You have to attend a professional development opportunity. You have to attend a slush rush event that takes place throughout the year. So there are requirements inside the classroom and assignments that you have to complete inside the class, but then also it's tied to the activities and events that are planned by the committee members in the community. So if you're not someone who wants to get into this, then we do have other options for you to take part in within the CEED office. So Austin asked if you can pay his admission to VT before applying. So in order to apply if you want to go the StarRes route, which is what our housing system, you have to pay your admission fee of the $400. I think that's what it is. And then it's going to take 2 or 3 business days for you to be able to actually go to StarRes and apply. So once you accept your offer, pay that admission fee, and then 3 days after that, you have the ability to go into the system and apply through that system. Kara, applying before you accept your admission does not really affect it. It's just a way for students to be able to, some students want to know whether or not they get into the community before they accept their admission. So some students would like to know that answer. So we give you that option to apply before. Once a student is accepted, how long do we have to reply? It depends on when you apply. We have deadlines once a month. So if you apply in the month of April, then you have to, if you apply by April, then your application, you have to accept your offer by May 15th. If you apply in May, then you have to accept your offer by June 15th. And after that, it's anyone who applies in June would have to make their decision by July 1. But typically, if you would want to apply sooner rather than later, because like I said, come June, we may not have any spaces available. So there are no additional costs to the community. Everything outside of your traditional fees that you have are actually included within the cost of what you pay to the university. So as you all can see, our students love the community so much that they decide to stay. Emily was a part of the community her whole time here at Virginia Tech, and then she's going to continue on in grad school too. So that's pretty cool. Megan, do you want to answer that question about the floors?
I believe you still can apply specifically to floors that are co-ed. I think you just have to know which floors are going to be co-ed that year, because you can specifically pick out which room you're going to have. So you can pick out if you want to be in 523 or 216. So you can actually pick out what floor you're going to be on, which is nice.
We picked out third floor because it was co-ed and it was like right above the lounge, which was really nice. And third floor is just a good floor, so recommend it.
So in the summer, once you are accepted, I will send out an email to all of the students who are accepted into Galapagos and give you all of the instructions on how to apply or how to get your housing, things like that. I will also send information out so that you can connect with other Galapagos students if you would like to match yourselves with a roommate. So you have the option to be randomly selected to have a roommate or have your roommate randomly selected, but you also have that option to get together with other community members and figure out if you want to room together. So if Jessica, you want to go ahead and answer Garrett's question about participating in extracurricular activities?
Yeah, so you do have plenty of time for extracurriculars. We actually do encourage you to like meet up with other people and find your passions in other clubs. I know I did at least a dance club. I've also ended up joining Engineers Forum, which is like a student-run magazine, and like done other events here and there. So like there's plenty of like time to do other stuff too. You will have to organize your time some, but that's just finding a way to like put a schedule together on your own and part of the transition into college.
I was just going to add to that. Like there's also, I don't know like how familiar you guys are with like Virginia Tech in general, but usually in the fall, there's kind of a big event where they have all of the like different clubs and organizations like out on the drill field. Obviously didn't happen with COVID. They did like an online thing, but where you can kind of see all the different clubs and organizations Virginia Tech does have to offer. And there's also a website. You can go to Gobbler Connect. I think right now, I don't think you need a login for that. And you can see kind of all the different things. There's sororities and fraternities, there's sports, there's extracurriculars, there's like random clubs that seem kind of like out there, but yeah, there's something for everybody. I think you can create your own club. I think that's an option too. If you have a group that wants to do something new. Yeah, definitely check that out.
Okay, so it looks like we have someone who asked, what is one thing you wish you knew before joining the community? And Michael, did you want to answer that question?
Yeah, I can take that. So one thing I definitely wish I knew before joining the community and before coming to tech in general was I wish I'd done more research on Engineering Expo, which is this giant company event that happens usually like in September, first week or second week of September. We get like 800 different companies coming to tech specifically to hire tech students. So that's one thing I wish I'd definitely done more research on and known more about, because I would have spent my first few weeks preparing for that instead of like focusing hard on like multivariable or something like that. But yeah, one thing you should definitely take a look at is Engineering Expo.
And I think just another thing to add on to Michael and add on another answer to this question, one thing I wish I had known before even just coming to college in general is just to jump in like head first into all the activities and just make sure that you get involved with like the community and everything there is to be a Hokie. I know that like coming from like high school and like my hometown to tech, which is like a big school and where you know you might not know as many people and you kind of have that adjustment period. it's just like the best way to get to know people is to just like jump straight into it. And Galapatia was just such a great way to like connect with the community and like start finding your place at Virginia Tech. So I didn't realize how like integral that was going to be to my college experience. I was just kind of like, you know, I guess I could live in a cardboard box if I had to, as long as I was coming to Virginia Tech, I would have been happy. But I was so happy to like be a part of Galapatia. It's truly just like such an awesome community filled with like really great people. And it led to a lot of different avenues for other organizations that I'm involved with around campus, because a lot of the like older students and mentors were able to say, hey, I think you'd really like this or really like that, or you'd like this major or that major. So that's just another thing. It's just a great way to like get involved. And I wish like freshman year me had been more ready for that, because it was a little bit of whiplash, but it was really fun, really great time.
And then Megan, Megan Gross, do you want to answer the question, this upcoming year, what floors will be co-ed?
So I think almost always 3, 4, and 5 are co-ed. I think it depends on how the ratio of how many applicants we get that are girls and guys. The basement ground floor is like half the amount of people and switches between guys and girls, but 3rd, 4, and 5 generally are co-ed. I've been on 3rd for 2 years and it's been co-ed. I also really like 3rd and 4 just because, number 1, it's easier for fire drills. 2, it's not as many stairs for getting to the laundry room. 3, it does not get as hot because this building gets ungodly hot in like those first few weeks because there's no AC. So like if you're on those top floors, it could be a lot worse. And then like it's just nice because you get the dynamic of seeing people all the time, especially if you're on 3rd high, because you're right above the lounge, which means that there's a lot of people that go around the lounge. So you see a lot of people. So recommend 3rd, 4, maybe 2, but I don't know if 2 will be girls or guys.
So for this moving forward, unless things change, the 3rd and 4th floors are the ones that are co-ed. All the other ones from the 5th through the 7th are all male, and then the ground 1st and 2nd are female. But if things change, you will know because it'll be on there when you go to select your rooms. What year in college would you recommend to do internships? Lauren, if you want to go ahead with that one.
Yeah, so this is a question that I get a lot from just younger students like freshman and sophomore. And the way I see it, I think that the best year to start doing internships is as like a sophomore or like between your sophomore and junior summer, and to give yourself that summer after your freshman year to just like have one last summer of working like your camp counselor job or working at your local pool, because at that point, yes, you've gone through engineering classes and you're an engineer at Virginia Tech, but it's been like mostly the general engineering curriculum. And a lot of times companies are going to want a little more specialization before they start hiring you for internships. It's definitely not impossible to get an internship that summer, and a lot of people do it and they have a great time. And, you know, if that's the path for you, then kudos to you, rock on. Like, you definitely know what you want to do. Awesome. But a lot of times I find that, like, at least for me too, after my sophomore year, when I was in my major classes, I felt a lot more confident to go out and get an internship, and like I could do the job really well. So that's what I would recommend, but also it's kind of a do your own thing, whatever your comfort level is. And it's mostly just about getting your foot in the door anyway. So if you can get an internship, go for it. Yeah.
I'd actually like to add on to this. So from a kind of a different perspective, I actually managed a freshman internship. It wasn't even an engineering internship. It was a quality assurance internship at a company in my hometown. And if that's an option you can take, if you can target like a local company and get an internship with them, that is just an absolutely invaluable experience, because first off, it's in your hometown. So you don't have to rent an apartment or anything like that. All of that income is disposable, and you can use that to pay off whatever loans you have, or pay forward any tuition for next semester, save up for an apartment even. But also getting your foot in the door, not even necessarily in an engineering internship with a local company, is really great for your network. It's really great for your references. It really just depends, like Lauren said, on how well you feel after your freshman year. Like if you go through your freshman year and you feel like you just need a break, by all means, take a local job or just relax for that summer and don't focus too much on internships. You have the you have your sophomore year to get ready for that and get some more specialized experience there. But if you're hungry for more, if you go through freshman year, you're like, that wasn't too bad, I really want to get into my field, then absolutely apply your freshman year, because your workload is never going to be lighter. You're going to have more time to work on your resume and professional development your freshman year, because the workload does kind of ramp up as you get into your sophomore year, and sometimes your junior year is when you'll face like your hardest courses so far. So again, it all depends on how well you feel after your freshman year.
Thank you. And one thing that I learned about Virginia Tech is they do an amazing job of getting internship information out to students for the summer. And then also a lot of students participate in what we call co-ops. So either the fall or the spring semesters, there's opportunities for you to co-op where you go and you work with different companies for the semester or for that academic year. And you are paid for that time, and you are still considered to be a full-time student within the College of Engineering or at Virginia Tech, excuse me, but there's an office that you have to go through in order for all of this to happen. And Ronnie, would you mind sharing your experience with what you need to do with that as well?
Yeah, so it took me forever to get an internship or an opportunity. I focused really, really hard freshman and sophomore year trying to find those, and I did learn a lot, because you learn how to get rejected, you learn how to talk to companies in a professional way, lots of pro dev skills. But I just got my first opportunity recently, so this summer and fall I'll be working with Clorox, and then I'm going to come back in the fall of 2022 to finish off my senior year. The office that you go through is the CEIP office, College Enrollment something program. I honestly don't know off the top of my head, but it's really easy to look up. You just type in Co-op Virginia Tech and it'll take you to their page. But like Deanna said, you stay enrolled as a full-time student. So that's advantageous for a couple reasons. A lot of people's financial aid is dependent on them being a full-time student and maintaining the minimum credit level. And then also for other reasons, it just gives you a point of contact at Virginia Tech while you're away working. So you have a mentor through that office, and if you experience any problems in the workplace, or if you have any disagreements with a fellow employee or a boss, or you don't know how to manage a certain situation, you can always reach out to them and they'll help you navigate through that. And then they're just really great when it comes to coordinating that with your academic advisor as well. So it's kind of like a team of people that help work you through that that opportunity, and then you'll get to come back to Virginia Tech afterwards and continue with your academic career. So definitely a great opportunity. And the one thing I will say is I think there's a lot of value in having an internship where it doesn't necessarily take time away from your schedule, but people also shouldn't be afraid of taking or postponing their graduation date, because having like a 6-month or an 8-month or even a year-long opportunity means that you get really, really in-depth with the projects that you're working on at a certain company. So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. But
thank you, Ronnie. Claudia wants to know if the internship could count as credit.
I think that that's more of a co-op thing where it counts for credit, as Ronnie was saying, where you get the credits and they hold your place as a university student. But I don't think that there's so much a summer internship class/credit kind of transfer thing. I think that's just something you do for your own professional development and to start getting to know the industry.
I think for co-ops, it is like by department. Certain departments will take the credit of you being in a co-op or something. I know there's like independent studies, but there's also other things. I think it's by department that they sometimes will give you credit and other times they don't.
That office I was talking about, the CIP, does have a 6-week summer for the first 6 weeks, a second 6-week for the summer, and then a 12-week entire summer. So you can get credit for it. I think it's like technically a hold on your account. So there's not really an advantage to doing that over a summer as opposed to just doing an internship and like talking to people in your department about it.
Yeah, I was just gonna add. I know like undergraduate research can count as like a technical elective for certain majors, so that's always an option. And I think like independent study is also one of those kind of options, but I don't know that internships are typically.
I think some some institutions or some different majors outside of engineering require students to take an internship, but it's not required by in the engineering department for students to have to do internships. Like they said before, a lot of students do internships to get in their foot into the door and to get that experience. I know one student who is currently a graduate student who went to tech as an undergraduate student, had an internship throughout her whole time as an undergraduate student, and then they're going to hire her after she graduates with her master's degree. So it's an opportunity for you to network and to get your foot into the door and get experience with different companies and things like that. So it was really nice to hear from you all and for you all to join us. Thank you for our panelists who were able to answer the questions for the students or potential students. And we look forward to seeing you in the fall semester.
Go Hokies! Woohoo!